Hey folks, this is Liberty 4343 here again with a kind of mini knife update and kind of long-term carry review of this particular knife right here, which is the Burchtree Mid-Tech Dao folder. Many of you are probably familiar with this just based on various other knife reviews or checking out USN or blade forums, etc. The knife itself, just a couple of specs for you before I get into too much detail here in terms of my own personal experience. The knife itself is almost 5 inches in length carried. I guess the actual spec is 4.875. It's stonewashed titanium. The steel is CPM 154 and it's 3/16 of an inch thick. As you can see, it's quite beefy. I'll kind of compare it with some other knives here in just a second. The knife length, I should say, the blade length rather, is almost 3.2. It's like 3.175. Overall length is 7.5, and the weight is 6.5 ounces. It's got the black G10 spacer here on the back and kind of that deep pocket clip right there, which is I'll talk about here in just a moment. Just to give you a little bit of a comparison in terms of size, of course, large Sebenza, kind of my first higher end knife there, you can see it. And I need to do a little bit of a review on this thing. I really love it. I think I mentioned it in one of my videos about Blade HQ. But of course, this is the ever popular Spyderco Paramilitary 2. It's the special edition one, sprint run I guess is what you call it, with the CPM S35VN. And it's one of my favorite knives. It's just one of those things that's so easy to carry, flicks open, just real easy, of course, messing it up there on camera. Sharp as all get up. My Ray Lacanico Jasmine flipper. This is what I was EDCing today. Love this knife, of course, just flips open so easily. From just any standpoint, this thing is just a dream. So that's one of my other knives. And also, a knife which I'll probably do a review on later. This deserves its own little story here. Is the Alan Leschwitz Les George collaboration from a couple of years ago. I think maybe it was even 3 years ago now, I guess maybe in 2010. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly, but it's the Cerberus, I guess is how you pronounce it. The dog that guards the gates of hell. That is just truly a beast. But that deserves its own little story because that actually has something a little special, near and dear in my heart. This knife, put a little bead on it. Got it from a gentleman on USN. Nice little bead. Made my own little lanyard, nothing big there. The knife itself, though, this Burchtree knife, the way I kind of found out about it, of course, was on USN. I'm seeing guys talk about it, and it's interesting, you go to the custom forum makers area, and, I'm looking around, and there was a big thread for the mid-tech. And the interesting thing is, these guys are talking about, hey, I got number 42, or I got number 1, or number 43, or 75, whatever. This knife is one of 75 that he produced, and it is a mid-tech. Most of the time, obviously, he's making customs. I'd love to get my hand on one of his customs because this mid-tech is absolutely phenomenal. It is one of the smoothest knives that I own, period. I mean, it is, of course, perfectly centered. But listen to the lockup here. I mean, it is just like a bank vault. Like a tank door, a Rolls Royce, whatever kind of cliche you want to use. Whatever it does, it locks up nice and solid. And it is so smooth. I mean, this knife is just a joy. Even though it's not a flipper and it's a heavy, heavy blade, it's just really a joy. Plus, the thing is, I love this jimping here too. Your hand almost kind of, or your thumb rather, kind of wants to go all the way up to the top. But it just fits so nicely in the hand. And everything works on this knife. And by that I mean there's just nothing out of place. It's simplicity. It's just perfection. This is number 61, and I don't know if the camera will be able to pick this up here. Maybe if I shine a light on the inside, you might be able to see it, although it's a little hard. Let me put this down here just for a second and grab a little flashlight here, and maybe you folks can see it. It's going to be kind of difficult here. Doesn't really look like it. Well, anyway, inside here is the number of the knife. Where I bought this from one of the USN people, the guys on USN, it didn't come with the card, and I thought, okay, maybe he's the first owner. I saw a nice little thing that he had sent to Mr. Burch about, oh, hey, I used your knife to cook some burgers, etc. So I thought he was the first one, and there was a nice little thread that guys had posted kind of shouting out what their number of their mid-tech was. And I've noticed that this has already passed through at least 2 other hands before it got to me. But of course, it doesn't diminish anything about the knife. Interestingly enough, I've had this actually since November of 2012, and I put out a call, and a gentleman who I bought some other things from off of USN said, hey, I've got one if you're interested. I snatched it up instantly. It was a great deal. It wasn't, free, obviously. It was just in the perfect price range, and I just really, really dig this knife. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. It just makes me only want to whet my appetite, of course, for a true custom Burchtree knife, because the mid-tech is so completely fantastic. It's got just a great carry pocket clip here, deep carry, and at first I was a little leery because it is hard as heck to open that thing up. But once it's in your pocket, it actually comes out quite easily, and it doesn't, pull your finger when you're trying to get it out, meaning it doesn't dig in. It's very functional. I don't know what else to say. In terms of weight, compared with other knives or length, it kind of just disappears in the pocket. At least it does in mine. I tend to wear pants like jeans or tad pants or something like that, so things that are a little bit more geared for knife carry. But this knife really is a dream to use. I'm not saying I use it for anything kind of hard, just around the house, cutting up random items, food. I think I had a picture on one of the forums of cutting a burger in half for my little kid, which, just cleaning it off, and there she goes again. No big deal. So, would I recommend this knife? I would wholeheartedly recommend this knife. Unfortunately, there's only been 75 made. So, hopefully in the future, he'll make maybe another run or another style, whatever, so other folks can get their hands on this. It is, like I said, it's a little hard to get a hold of, obviously, if there are only 75 in existence. And like I said, all it did was make me whet my appetite for another of his knives, a custom one, of course. So that's my little kind of micro review. Kind of babbled on a little bit. I'm kind of gushing because I really, really do like this knife, and I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. He's got a really long waiting list. He doesn't open his books up very much. I think he did last year just to a select few people. So it's one of those things I also hope to be able to get on to for this next year, the 2014 year, and maybe get another one of his knives. So there you go. If you get a chance, check one out. They are phenomenal knives. Just kind of open it up a couple more times, show you some details up close there. You can see his maker's mark. Let me get that up so you can see it there with that cool snake. Very nice. Kind of give you the overall view there. Very nice, very clean. And just a very thick knife. I'll just show you the comparisons there. That's the Sabenza. That's the Lacanico. There you go. Of course, the Spyderco all but disappears. It looks like you could get about 2 Spydercos in there almost, in terms of blade thickness. And this beast right here, but even that, comparing it, you can see the Burch just is so much thicker. So, although it's kind of one of the smaller ones on the table here, it's definitely a beefy knife and holds its own. So, if you get a chance, check it out. He is a fantastic knife maker, just based on my one and only experience with this knife. I would love to get a closer view of some of his other custom knives, of course, but there you have it. And thank you for watching. Keep the shiny side up, and I hope to talk to you folks soon.